Welcome back, dear viewers, and you're still on the breakfast show on Nile TV International. And as we said, that our main topics for today is be empowering the youth, and the young people are the asset and the wealth of our the world, and the ones are capable of making the real change to the society. And to shed more light on this issue, we are most delighted to be joined by our prominent desk Dr. The guest, Dr. Mohamed Hamza, the Council of Egypt at the United Nations. A very good morning to you, Dr. Mohamed.
Morning to you.
It's a pleasure having you.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much.
Can you shed more light on the role of the youth on both the social and the economic development in the country, in Egypt?
Yeah, actually, when we talk about the youth development, it started, let's say, in 2016.
Yes.
When President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have announced that it's the year of the youth. And then the strategy have been built at that year. We can talk about 10 years ago, 1 decade, that in Egypt we have seen that there is a development have been done to the youth in the generations. Because the main challenge at that time for us to empower the youth, or to make them involved in the political life or the leadership positions, it was how you can train them. How you can educate them, because for years the youth, they was not in the front or the second or the third lines in the leadership's positions in Egypt. So here was the challenge, and in 2016 there was an idea. That idea is to make a conference and to sit with the youth, check what are the problems, what they are aiming to have in the future, what is the hope, and a lot of things.
The word youth forum that was adopted by the
yes,
United Nations.
Correctly. The word youth forum in the beginning, it was look like an idea to President Sisi, and we thank him for his motivations and for his role to take the youth from a country they was not looking to them, to a country now giving them the chairs. So in 2017, when we launched in Egypt the first time that the World Youth Forum, it was a big challenge, because it was an idea to put a youth from a young people from the whole planet and bring them to Egypt and let them talk together and just put the advisors and the principals and check what they want to do for tomorrow. It was a huge challenge at that time, but we succeed. 2017, and then 2018, 2019, 2020, for 4 years we have making achievements and outcomes for the youth in the education, in the sports, in the political, in the economy, for the entrepreneur, for the business opportunities worldwide. It's all connect to Egypt. It's become a hub. And in 2022, the United Nations have adopted this forum to become as an international brand under the umbrella and the foundation of Egypt, which is
a huge step for Egypt.
A huge step for supporting the youth.
Something, and
of
the
course,
United Nations has
adopted it, and then the whole world. When you talk about the countries and our travels, we meet a different generations. They know that there is something called the World Youth Forum have been launched from Egypt, and Egypt is giving and empowering its youth. And here we talk about there was a challenge in 2017.
Okay.
Because returning to your first question, how this development happened, the leadership, President Sisi and the government at that time, we have a national strategy to 2030. And the national strategy in 2030, it's empowering the youth and the women in Egypt. How you can empower them and give them the chairs and give them the position to be a decision maker without education. Not education as education, no, education to the political and to lead.
Raising the awareness.
Awareness, yes. So the idea come in establishing the National Training Academy in 2017. And National Training Academy, it was look like a dream, because when we talk about the last 70 years, 100 years, and we talk about our country, the leadership when we talk about the president or the king in the past, or the ministers, or the prime minister, when we talk about the people in the leadership, there was a huge gap between them and the youth. And let's face it, that was the fact. Even the youth, when you talk to them, and we had a lot before meetings and dialogues with them, they have a rejection before. They don't want to hear anything when you say a government. They don't want. But from 2016, they saw them friends
their
thoughts and
ideas
and they saw that there is an administration is looking to them. So opening the National Academy
for training.
This National Academy, since it's open in 2017 up to 2026, over than 500,000 youth and young people
have
been trained and graduated.
Okay.
And over than 12,000 in this 10 years have taken positions in the government.
Okay.
Early week, the previous week, I was just listening to one interview in the TV with the governor of Bani Suef.
Okay.
Governor of Bani Suef, he was a doctor, and then he attended the National Academy for training, and then he first attended the presidential learning program, and then he attended other program for supporting the decisions when it's come to the leaderships. And after graduation, he had been appointed as a vice governor of Bani Suef in the age of 31. And in 34, he became the governor of Bani Suef. And they called him at that time that he was the youngest
governor that has been
have been appointed in Egypt. And this is just to see this now in the parliament. How many youth and young people that they are already in the parliament? How many youth now as a vice and assistants of a governors, of a ministers?
Yes.
We already saw this we saw in the parliament one senator, she is 25 years old.
Okay.
We are talking about a country, it's an old country. This was not happening before.
Yes, sure.
But why this happened? It happened because you educate those youth and you look to these young people and you give them the opportunities and you trusted them.
This can bring me to that we can ask, this can boost the participation of the youth in the political life in the country. How can we do this?
We can do this by open the range more wider.
Okay.
Because when we talk about 10 years, when you talk about any business project, for example, let's take it like that, and then you make a project, and then in the first 10 years you inject this project, and then you supervise it, and then you see the outcomes and the challenges and all of this.
And raising the awareness of the youth in general.
Yes. So you already complete 1 decade. So the next decade, as by my own perspective, from 2026 to 2036, we need the generations to lead in a real bags of positions. We need those generations, which now the country and the president himself give them the opportunity, educated them, give them the chances, and they achieve and they prove that they can lead. We need now to make, when we talk about the political life in Egypt, there is a political parties, there is an associations, there is the civil society. We need all of them to be combined by injecting them, the young people, not just to talk about it in a line of we want. No, we want now them.
So what are the challenges they're facing the Egyptian youth in general and facing their political participation in Egypt, in your point of view?
In my point of view, the challenge is wide.
Okay.
Because when you talk to the young people or the youth about not just to take a jobs in the government, because no one now in 2026 is looking for that. Most of the youth is looking to be as an entrepreneur, is to open his own business. Now everything is digitalized, but when you talk to them challenges, the rejections.
Okay.
Inside the youth, the rejections.
Okay.
They reject. They don't follow. They always reject. But now I can see 50% of the youth in Egypt is supporting the development and the sustainable development in our country. And I can see now there is an associations on the ground. They look like Takaful Karama, look like Haya Karima. There is a lot of programs. Who made these programs? It was an idea. It had been adopted and sponsored by the President Fattah Sisi and by the government. And who make it happen? The youth.
Yes.
Who go to the villages, who develop it, who go in those in needs, who make the forms, the youth. So I am seeing now them, they are entering, but not as how they're supposed to be. Because when you talk about the population percentage, the youth in Egypt is 45%.
Okay.
You are talking about a young country. When we travel to Europe or when we travel to Asia, those countries, the youth numbers is lower than 15%.
Okay.
So you are a strong young country. You have a generation.
According to the general population, I
of
think
course,
it's,
of course.
ratio number.
This is the last number in 2025. So if you give this youth a wide range of participations,
Okay.
and you as the government is doing that. But for me, to break the ice and to give more opportunities, private sector. Private sector, as I see, because everything we relied on the government, and this is not the time to rely on the government. This is the time is to see the society, the political parties, what is your role, what you are giving to them. The private sector, the mega companies, the medium enterprise, what you guys did to the youth. It's not about jobs, it's about participation. What are the programs you done for the sustainable development? There is a lot for this as a private sector and the social society to attract youth in programs now in the country.
Yes. Dr. Mohamed, also we can shed more light on the social media affect the awareness of the youth regarding the causes not only for the homeland but only in the whole world, and how to raise the political awareness through the social media or encompass with the social media.
Yeah, social media, as you know and we all know now in 2026. I come here in this studio in 2015 and I talk to most of here is my friends. I talk about at that time in 2015, I told them after 10 years, social media will be the power. Whoever want to have a decision, whoever want to have a community.
It's the soft power of
the soft power
of the word now.
Yes.
Yes.
Before it was the media, the news, the newspapers, and all of that. But now it's the social media. Social media, when you talk to the governments worldwide, the central intelligence in the governments worldwide, social media is look like 65% the loop of information to them.
Okay.
They monitor everything in social media. Not the platforms, social media. Social media now is everything in our life. The government, what have done? The government here in Egypt have supported the social media development in the right path. Why? Because the last 15 years, we find out that there is a people that in a sudden, in a day and night, that they already have a followers over them 5 million persons.
Yes.
And those people, they are not educated well. They don't have the right experience. They cannot share you a value type of information that you can follow, and then
But
suddenly
affect the society,
they already
youth
affected.
especially, yes.
Then suddenly in the last 3 years we find there is a gap in our society, that there is a young people and youth is following those, as you call them, as a bloggers.
Yes.
So what happened if you're
Influencers. And
influencers?
They really influence on the society.
In there is good, there is bad, but when we talk about the bad influence, it was too
There are
much.
more, yes.
And here when you look to the government, and I wanted to send an appreciation to our president and to the government now, because the government now is an awake government. Also here 10 years ago, what I said Egypt is a sleeping giant. It needs a government feel and give the right message to uprise. And that's what happened in the last 10 years.
Okay.
You have a government now act in every single piece of information. They don't leave it. And you see the last year, they control this social media. By how? By categorize it, by those people who is giving or influencing our community in a bad messages or a bad information that the followers is using, they stop it. They encourage those who is educated.
The good influencers, yes.
And I wanted to tell you one thing. The executive director of the National Training Academy, he was one of the, he is a doctor, and he is one of the decent professional professors and executive director, but he was an influencer.
Okay.
And he had a huge number of followers, but he was giving them advices and how with the motivation, useful information and useful right of uprising your dreams and your hope for a better future. So this is exactly what you want now at the country. And when we talk about the social media, exactly, you need to put a people and educate a people that they can be the right influencer and the right people that you can follow. And I'm not talking about Egypt, I'm talking about the worldwide. Because when you talk about the world, you can see this everywhere, but you will not see as how you see it in the Middle East. Because in the Middle East, we are always 4 steps back what's happening abroad. But when we travel abroad and when we go in a forums or a conferences abroad, and we see that we are okay, and we are doing very good in our country. There is a country that is not doing even 10% development and sustainable development as what happened in Egypt. So to empower and develop the social media channels for the youth, you need to have a supervision in that. Not anyone will hold his cell phone. We will let him give a messages. It can be destroy the community.
Yes. So the social media can affect the political participation of the youth in general. Yes.
Of course, 100%.
Okay. Can you tell me more about the assessment of the efforts exerted by the state to empower the youth and help them to lead more positions in the country and to be decision makers?
Of course. After 2017, after the academy had been launched, and then these programs that there was generations and there was a lot of numbers of youth have come inside the academy and graduated, and then they took positions. Positions like what? We didn't see in our parliament senators, young senators. We didn't see for years or a decade.
We just saw it this year.
We saw it
in the Senate
this
elections.
year and 2022. Because in 2022, the participation of the youth, it was 13%. But this year, it's over than 35%.
Okay.
And not just that, because when you talk about the parliament because we have 2 parliament, there is a committees inside. There is a heads of the committees from the youth.
Yes.
You know, when you talk about committee, because a parliament of the people, the parliament of the people, this is where the voice of the people. When you put a young people or you put a youth in this place, this is exactly the answer of your question. When you talk now, as I mentioned, that this governor of Paniswave or the vice governors to 13 governor position in Egypt now in 2024 and 2025. Not just that, ministers. We have 9 ministers, the vice minister, the assistant of the minister, the chief director of some of the committees in the ministries. They are the age from 25 to 35 years old, and this didn't happen in our country. For a decades that we didn't see that a director in the ministry is a 35. It happened. It happened because you put the structure, you inject the development in the right path. And I will always remember what President Sisi said a couple of years ago: listen to the youth
Yes.
and make them dreams come true. This is how you build the trust.
This is a very good ending for our topic today. Dr. Mohamed Hamza Husseini, the Council of Egypt at the United Nations. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And a short break, and we'll be right back to continue the breakfast show on Nile TV International.